Hello again, everyone. John here from YourShadyLife.com, home of everything to do with patios for our Canadian customers and friends and fellow patio aficionados. And today's video is going to focus on lighting. I find this video actually ironic because one of the things that I am lacking at the moment for recording these videos is good lighting. I'm actually a little bit light sensitive, so I have these Edison bulbs here in my studio / office, and it's quite dim in here, which is the way I like it. That's a personal preference. But we're going to talk about lighting for your patio. I'm not going to get too much into how to install, but I'll talk a little bit about ease of installation versus complicated installation. And we'll talk about different lighting options. So let's get started. Good lighting is important for ambience and functionality and for extension of the use of it too. I still remember before we had good lighting on our patio, sitting out one night with some old friends, and we hadn't visited in a long time. Beautiful night, no bugs, it was nice and dry, and the temperature was perfect, and we got to the point in the evening where it just got too dark to sit outside, and unfortunately, that was the end of the visit. And I am convinced that if we'd had good lighting, that visit might have lasted another hour or two, and we missed out on that. So it always reminded me of the importance of good lighting on your patio and how that will extend your use and your enjoyment of your patio. We're going to talk a little bit about solar, low voltage, string lights, lanterns, torch lights, etc. Solar lights, you can get all the options for solar lights have literally exploded in the marketplace. We actually have lots of them available through our store at YourShadyLife.com. Lots of options for solar, path lights, garden lights, spotlights, deck lights, etc. The pros and cons, they're obviously energy efficient. You don't have to worry about setting timers up or anything. They come on at night. They don't last all night necessarily. They're easy to install. There's no wiring. So I like solar lights for that reason. The downside of solar lights is that they are, first of all, dependent on sunlight, which that's not a huge issue, but the brightness is quite a bit lower than, say, for instance, a low voltage. Let's talk about low voltage. Low voltage lighting is fantastic. The nice thing about it is once it's wired into the panel, from that point, it comes to a transformer and you don't need an electrician. So here in the province of Ontario, electrical work, even done by a homeowner, needs to be inspected. That is the rule. You can be subject to Electrical Safety Authority fines if you are not a licensed electrician and you do work. You're allowed to do work on your own home, but it still needs a permit. You're not allowed to do work for a customer. Very, very, very bad if you do. So if you're a contractor and you're watching this, no electrical, not allowed to do it. But the great thing about 12 volt is, because of its classification, landscape contractors don't have to be electricians to install landscape lighting for their customers. And so that's another industry. When we go to Congress in Toronto every January, the options for landscape lighting, it was noticeable a few years ago that every year the landscape lighting vendors seem to double and triple at each show. It's kind of leveled off now, but there's a lot of good options for low voltage lighting out there. It's the pros and cons. It's bright, it's very consistent lighting. It's again energy efficient, a lot of product in the marketplace, so there's a lot of versatility of use. The cons, I mean, you require a transformer and wiring, so obviously, well, most lighting does, I mean, other than solar. You might need professional installation depending on your skill level. You can do it yourself. At some point, maybe we'll do a video on basically how to do low voltage lighting, but there's a bit of work involved in it. You want to make sure your cables are buried and safe and secure from being tripped over and being eaten by animals and so on. So, you know, there's conduit. You can do it. You can do it or you can do it right, you know. Takes a lot of planning calculate power requirements, how many lights on this line and so on, using transformers to reduce voltage and so on. String lights. These have exploded in popularity. One of my favorites, actually, because they have a great look. Everybody likes the look of string lights. There's LED. I like the Edison bulbs. I've already said that. I'm an Edison bulb kind of a guy. I like the look. There's fairy lights, which that's your thing. It's not mine. The pros of string lights, they're very versatile, very easy to install. I almost made a joke at my wife's expense, but my wife is actually very handy with stuff, so it's not even accurate. I was going to say that even my wife installed our string lights, but my wife installs a lot of things that I've never installed. So she does actually, full disclosure, she does all the plumbing in our house, just in case you were wondering about that. Another one of the pros is it creates a cozy ambiance. And we actually have string lights. Downside is they can get tangled, they're subject to wind, and this is we found out because we actually lost an entire string during a storm. I thought actually somebody had vandalized it. It was all glass shattered all over the patio, but it was actually the wind that had blown it down and ripped the lights down and smashed all the Edison bulbs on the ground. So that was a little frustrating. You can hang them on your pergola, on your fences, across open spaces. They're really easy to install. And, you drape them so it creates that canopy effect. Then there's lanterns. This is another thing. Usually you have to have, a table or something to put these on, some sort of furniture to put them on. There are actually solar sconces I've seen that can go like on the post of your pergolas. We actually have some of those products at yourshadylife.com, but they're solar. Again, I'm sure in the low voltage world there are sconces. In fact, I know there are. Lanterns they're very portable. Obviously, they don't take much to install. They're decorative. It's a very charming touch. It's a cozy feeling, but again, limited brightness. Usually they're battery operated, so because you don't want wires to trip over, especially in dim lighting. But you need, place them on tables, or you can hang them from hooks off your pergola or your fence, or line pathways with them. There are actual natural lanterns, like natural open flame lanterns. Use at your own risk, I would suggest. And then the other one is torch lights, like tiki torches or LED flame effect torches. Pros and cons. A lot of people love the tropical feel, the exotic feel that torch lights give, and it provides a nice ambient light. But if you're using an open flame torch, it's a fire hazard, and they do require fuel, obviously. There's pros and cons, obviously, to everything. Most of them, they do make torches now that are actual solar or wired. They're getting a little bit easier to find, but most torch lights are actually open flame still. So there's huge safety considerations for that that you definitely don't want to overlook. So, consider your patio, how you're going to use it, the overall ambience that you want, the functionality that you want to achieve, what atmosphere you're trying to create, how you're going to use it. And you can combine different lighting options too for a layered effect. Even when we do interior work, which is not often, but we've done our fair share of interior renovation work, lighting is my favorite thing because it literally affects everything in the room. You can have the nicest paint color, the nicest flooring, the nicest kitchen cupboards, the best granite in your kitchen. Doesn't matter if the lighting's not right. And I like the idea of layered lighting. So you can turn these two different light sources off and just leave this one on for a certain use, etc. You can do that outside as well. Anyway, those are just a few lighting options for you. I want to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Appreciate this. And make sure you go to yourshadylife.com if you haven't already. Subscribe to our newsletter there. We are constantly adding new products to our online store, and we are constantly testing and reviewing new products and finding out great things. We'd love to, we search the market for you for anything to do with your patio to help you out. So anyway, sorry I'm a little over 10 minutes here. I don't normally like to be that long. And leave your comments in the comment section below. Reach out to us, send us a message if you have questions, and give us your ideas for what you want to learn about on our YouTube channel. And we'll talk to you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.